Dear students, today's chapter is Units and Measurement. This is the first chapter in your class 11 program, and we're going to discuss what kind of questions you are likely to get in your NEET, JEE Main, as well as Advanced also. And this being the first chapter, um, in your class 11, even though it is generally taught in your school, etc., as a first chapter, it is better that you study it only at the end of even class 12 after covering all the chapters, because you this chapter deals with all the physical quantities which you come across in all the chapters, including class 11. And in fact, mainly class 11, you will have so many kind of quantities which you are coming across. Therefore, in order to really understand well and then be able to answer the questions asked in this chapter, we should know thoroughly about all the quantities, which means only after only after finishing studying all the chapters, it makes sense for you to do study this chapter. Therefore, I would advise you very strongly that don't take it up first, take it up last at the end of your program. Okay, now having said that, let's now get into this chapter, what kind of questions you are likely to get, and then I am going to now teach you how to study, what is to be written in your memory, and then what kind of approach you must take for solving the questions which are given. So now, generally, now these questions in the chapter are pretty simple, and so just concentrate. You should be able to do well. Now the kind of topics which are covered in this chapter, and therefore what kind of questions you are likely to get, fall into these five different topics. One is conversion of units, that is from one unit to another. Like for example, now 20 newtons would be how many cgs units, like that, etc. Therefore that kind of questions will come under this is pretty simple, very very simple mathematical effort is involved in this. And also you are not likely to get too many questions on this particular type. Only rarely you will get question, but then if it comes, then you should be able to answer it satisfactorily. Therefore, I am going to teach you how to do it. As I said, very simple only. Then the next topic is dimension of formula. This is now most important. Very often you will get questions on this particular nature. Dimension of formula, units, all the physical quantities, etc. We will learn how to actually solve these questions. Then the third one, of course, is to do with significant digits. Now, while measuring as well as calculating some of the physical quantities, uh, you should know how to present the final result in terms of number of number of significant digits. It is also is very very simple, and most likely you will not get any kind of question. Once in a while you will get a question, therefore you should be able to answer it. Then the fourth one, of course, is fairly important enough. That is actually measuring devices. There are actually two measuring devices you will come across the questions. Vernier calipers as well as screw gauge. You must know how to calculate, how to find out the least count, or is also called vernier constant in the case of vernier calipers. How to find the least count, and then if the measurement is given, then how to make out, and then most importantly is, if there is any kind of a zero error, you must know how to calculate zero error. That kind of questions, and you would get, yes, some questions will come on this. It is also is important enough. Then we come to the last topic in this chapter, which is errors, absolute errors, fractional errors, percentage errors, etc. How to calculate errors from the given data. So then this also is very important. And therefore, as I said, now the item number 2, which is dimensional formula, is very often you will get questions, and the errors you'll get very often the questions, and then sometimes you will get definitely the vernier caliper screw gauge kind of questions. Other two topics you will get very rarely. Okay. Now, having said that, we will now get into this question, the topic number 1, which is conversion of units. As I said, is pretty simple to solve this. take for example, force is given as 5 Newton. Now convert it into CGS system. CGS system is centimeter, grams and seconds. So, and unlike the MKS or the SI units where you have kg, meter and then second, here you have centimeter, gram, second. How to convert? Okay, let's now look into it. Pretty simple, as I said, that is 5 kg per meter per second square, because Newton is a name given to this, but the actual unit is kg meter per second square. Therefore, now just write this equation, because we have to convert 5 kg meter per second squared into how many grams centimeter per second squared. Therefore, then call it as x, unknown value, which you'll have to find out. Therefore, now how to solve it is pretty simple. We have to be able to cancel the units from the left hand side as well as right hand side. Therefore, either you convert the kg into gram or convert the gram into kg. But then usually it is very easy to do the kg into gram, because kg we can write as 1000 gram. Instead of writing 1 gram equal to 0.001 kg, which is actually decimals, the working with the decimal is going to be a little cumbersome as against working with the full number. Therefore, preferable to convert the kg into 100 gram. Therefore, what you do is you just write this equation and then be able to make the same units on both sides. Start from each unit. Therefore, now kg, instead of kg you write as 1000 grams, and then instead of meter you write as 100 centimeter. Therefore, now you are able to cancel gram with gram, a centimeter with centimeter. And then second square remains the same thing, but there is no change in the systems. Second square remains the same. And therefore, you can cancel it also like this. Once you cancel it, then you can actually write it as 5 into 1000 into 100 equal to x, because everything other units have got cancelled. Therefore, then x you can solve it. Okay. And also incidentally, now the name given to the CGS unit of force is dynes. That's just incidental. Anyway, now then go to second kind of example. Let's take now velocity. If it is 90 kilometer per hour, convert it into meter per second. How do you do that? Same way. That is, write it as 90 kilometer divided by hour is. So 90 kilometer per hour equal to x meter per second. So as I said, we have to cancel the left hand side, right hand side units. The kilometer converted into 1000 meter, and hour, 1 hour converted into 3600 seconds. Therefore, now seconds will get cancelled from both sides. Cancelled from both sides. Plus meter will get cancelled from both sides. Therefore, you are left with this 90 into 10 power 3 by 3600, which can be worked out as 5 meter per second. So then simple stuff only. Then take for example now the third question for practice. Okay. Then universal gravitational constant G value we know as 6.67 10 power minus 11 SI units, that is Newton meter squared per kg squared. Now we are converted in terms of the CGS units, which is centimeter cube, seconds power minus 2 and gram power minus 1. Therefore, now how do we do it? It's like this now. Okay, right, just like that. Now the Newton, of course, is to be converted into its unit, basic units, which is nothing but kg. Just 1 second. Yeah, so then we write it as Newton, we write it as kg meter second power minus 2. Correct? And of course, then you have, after Newton, you have meter squared, and then kg power. That means kg squared is coming below. Okay. Therefore, now we return this. Now we should now write this as centimeter cube x. X is to be found out centimeter cube per second squared and then per gram. Of course, because of this kg and kg squared below, it gets converted into this gram. Now as usual, we have to find the x by means of cancelling out the units on left and right hand side. As usual, we will just convert this kg into 1000 grams. 1000 grams. Therefore, grams gets cancelled out from both sides. The second square obviously gets cancelled out. Then meter cube is what is now left over because of meter plus meter squared. And this we are going to convert it into 100 cube, centimeter cube. The centimeter cube also gets cancelled out. Therefore, now x is left with 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 on the right hand side. Then you have your 1000 going up there, and you have 10 power 6 coming down. Therefore, you are now left with 10 power minus 8 is equal to. Therefore, answer is x equal to 6.67 into 10 power minus 8 CGS units. Okay. Therefore, now similarly, you can actually try out this. 1 joule is how many ergs? Joule, of course, is SI unit or MKS unit, and ergs is a CGS unit. Therefore, how to convert 10 power 7 it will come to. You can work it out, you can actually try it out. Right? Now, then we go to the fifth one also is past asked question, JEE January 2019. Now how to do it is being shown here. You can see it. That is, we have to that is density of a material is given in SI units as 128. Therefore, then how many it will be in a particular unit system, which is not a CGS, but then which is a kind of variation of CGS, by means of saying that the unit of length is taken as 25 centimeter, unit of mass is taken as 50 gram. Therefore, then what is the density? 128 SI units will be how much in this particular new system. Therefore, what you write is just like this. What we have done, 128 kg per meter cube is to be equal to x into what is the unit of mass in the new system is 50 gram is each unit. Therefore, write 50 gram here. And then divide by, in the length unit is 25 centimeter. Therefore, 25 centimeter cube we have to write it. Therefore, now this becomes, we have to find out the x. Therefore, now again convert kg into 1000 grams and then meter into 100 centimeter, and then cancel out the grams, cancel out the centimeter cube. Therefore, you get the remaining x value calculated is like this. Right. Therefore, this, as I said, now as you can also see that the mathematics is pretty simple. Only thing is, now you may be taught in a different kind of manner of solving the question, writing out the units, etc., by your teachers or by your course guides, etc. Whereas my suggestion to you is just follow the method what I have now suggested. You will never go wrong, because you can always cancel out the units on both sides very clearly without any kind of ambiguity. Therefore, no, if you follow the method what I am now suggesting, you would be able to do it correctly, fast, without any mistake, and therefore you can score the mark. Again, as I said, now this kind of questions will be only rarely asked. Even then, if it is asked, then you are sure to score the marks if you follow the simple, correct, straightforward method what I am saying. Do not try and then get confused with any other kind of method what you may come across. Okay. With these words, we will now close this particular conversion of the units concept or the topic, and then we will go to the next topic will be dimensional analysis, which is very crucial. Therefore, then all the best. In the meantime, you can actually practice. For your practice, I have given you the NEET as well as JEE past asked question from past papers. Always, it's a good practice to practice out all the past question, at least for the last about some 10 years or so. Now, in this case, for this particular topic, you can practice that. NEET people can also practice the JEE Main questions asked, and then similarly, JEE Main students also can I practice NEET questions, and of course JEE Advanced have to necessarily practice all types of questions. Therefore, with these words, let me just conclude, and then all the best, and then wish you a good practicing sessions. Thank you very much.